Hi there, I'm Amy Griffiths and I'm one of the journalists in Manx Radio's newsroom. And the Island Southern MHKs say they will not be giving their support to this year's budget if there's not sufficient funds allocated for the Southern swimming pool. You'll likely have heard that the Department of Education, Sport and Culture will recommend the pool's closure at the end of the financial year. As a result, all 4 of the members representing the South have told Manx Radio they'll vote against the Treasury Minister's Pink Book. I've been speaking to Russian MHKs Michelle Hayward and Ewan Watterson and Arbury, Castletown and Maloo members Jason Morehouse and Tim Glover. You'll also hear from Tony Brown, who's a former Chief Minister himself and represented Castletown.
Many of the Southern members are already looking at what the current government's doing and asking questions over, can a budget in 2024 be supported? So to come along with something this crude and this having such an impact on so many local people, you're thinking, what is this government doing? Is this government completely out of touch?
In that vein, do you think, as things currently stand, will you support the budget next month?
It's something I've actually been considering since the last budget. When I voted in favour of the last budget, I did say that it was a knife-edge thing, and I was actually considering at that point not supporting the budget in 2023. So it's going to be increasingly difficult to say I will support it. And it's so important in terms of the budget is the fundamental aspect of the government. And if you vote against that, you're saying, I'm voting completely against your plans for the next 12 months and the future. So it is a big decision to make, but at the moment, it's the way I'm going, definitely.
Probably more resolute than I was before. I gave them the benefit of the doubt last time because there was a promise that the capital projects were coming through and that the high school would come through. We've had conflicting reports back from the department about whether a new pool was going to be part of the design for Castle Rushen, which is the stage that they're in at the moment, or not. But notwithstanding that, nothing will happen on that Castle Rushen building site effectively until 2029. And you cannot close a pool down now in 2024 and then wait 5 years to replace it. There should be a programme to coax this pool, and we know that various parts of the building are towards the end of life, but to coax it through and to keep it open as a facility until there is a replacement and spades are in the ground. And there's no promise in anything we've seen from the department so far that there will be a swimming pool replacement going onto that site. And so if I'm not able to support anything that doesn't include that.
Well, Treasury and the Education Department are going to have to row back substantially because I'm not in a position where I can support a budget.
This report was due in October, of course. If it had been announced then, that would have given time for a bit more consideration. It would have allowed local authorities to consider the rates, not just in the south, but around the island, if that was a necessary component of the funding mix to keep all our regional pools going. It is the budget next month. I've already written to the Chief Minister and Treasury Minister. I set out some priorities last year and the year before in the budget around getting Castle Rushen High School built, about the budget reform process which has been going on a long time, and about the High Street in Port St Mary. There's been no significant progress on any of those fronts. So I think it's going to be a really uphill battle for the Treasury Minister to get my vote, and I suspect those of my southern colleagues for the budget that's coming up.
What does this decision make you think about the current administration and the way the government is currently going?
Well, as I say, I think that the people of the south should feel betrayed by the government at this stage, given the lack of progress on a high school that was known about the need for 8 years ago. The fact that we're now closing down this facility. I appreciate as much as anyone that money is tight, but I don't think this is any way to run a country.
It seems obvious that what has happened is that the department has just not made any provision, government, in the Pink Book to fund through a deficiency payment the regional pool in the south. And that therefore has to be endorsed by Tynwald, because otherwise I think that goes against what had been indicated before, that Tynwald will be involved in this decision. And you've got a budget book that, by the sounds of it, may well not provide any financial support whatsoever, and I suspect it doesn't, based on what's been said now, to fund the southern swimming pool. The national swimming pool has been provided totally at the taxpayer's expense and is funded totally at the taxpayer's expense with no contribution from anybody in the area from their rates. My view on the answer to this is there should be something like an all-round leisure charge. It doesn't need to be a very expensive one. But if you did that, the amount of money then the department, if it is that desperate to get funds in, would be able to achieve.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Little Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.